Yay! Welcome to Pardon My Frenchie. This is me, 143. If you don't have a friend, you have a few now. How is everybody doing today? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Sorry, we've been having storms here and my internet was not connecting. It was saying go live, but then nothing was going live. So, yeah, well, welcome to PetLoss Tuesday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are new here, Tuesdays are PetLoss Tuesday. If you have any pets that you've lost this week or you are going through pet loss grief, you are in the right place. You have got a family here once you join. Welcome, beautiful moderator. I was going to say, I had to move right before we came on. All the dogs decided to do some things that they shouldn't do, like try to eat spiders and everything else down here. So I was, it was a last minute, debacle. And of course they don't find it any other time, but right when I'm ready to, start the show. So anyways, but here we are. I've got Coco Chanel on the couch with me, laying over here, and Rosie's down there running around. So how is everybody? Hello, Sunshine Girl. Hello, hello, hello. How are you? You come and say hi. Coky's coming to say hi. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I actually got it brightened up today by my stylist. I told her I'm like blonde, blonde, blonde. So throw in the blonde. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I was like, yeah, please blonde it up. Because it was going dark. I'm not, truth be told, I was born with dark hair, and even though my mother loves it, I am I love being blonde. So anyways, but how is everybody today? If you're new, throw your name in the chat. If you're not new, still throw your name in the chat. Again, Pet Loss Tuesday. So hello. Oh yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, tell that to Patty when she gets on. Oh, yeah, the moderator says the same thing too. Dark hair for the win. Hello, hi, how are you? Hi, John, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome. Good. Hanging in there today. It's been raining real bad for the past couple days. Even one of my friends in Texas sent me a message, and she said, she's like, how's the weather there? She's like, because we heard that through the Midwest, getting tornadoes and all sorts of things. And to me, it's just storms. Storms don't bother me. I actually enjoy the rain, so it doesn't bother me one bit. How are you doing? How's everybody doing? Hey, hello. How are you? Hi, welcome. You guys were getting rain in Virginia as well. Yeah, it's weird. Like and we're supposed to, I guess, get it for the rest of the week. I'm sure the co-producer will. Until the 14th. Here, like in Ohio, is that what you're saying, moderator? Bunch of people out of power until the 14th. Holy guacamole! Wait, what is today? Today's it's the 11th. No, girls, do not do that. Rosie, come. Girls are getting in trouble already. They are getting in trouble. Wow. See, that would make me so mad being without power. We really don't know how good we have it, right? Until we don't know how good we have it until something like that is gone. So, oh, sorry. I'm just trying to make sure that we are live on YouTube too, just because I'm sure you are, because you're sitting here looking at me. I just want to make sure that we're cooking on all cylinders here. Let's see. And it looks like we are. So, paste that. Okay, perfect. Now back to business. So yes, if you are new here, throw your name in the chat. Let's see. Hey, Sandy, how are you? Welcome. If you just found this channel, welcome. I always say if you don't have a friend, you have one now. Today is Pet Loss Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We deal with pet loss and grief. And this is just a very, very safe place for people to come and share their thoughts, feelings, anything about their animals, learn a little bit of stuff. If you have not lost anything, maybe you're here to help somebody else, even better. You can get a lot of insight from other people that are going through pet loss and grief, and learn, things as well, because it's a big topic, and one that. Oh, hello, Erin. Hello. Welcome, my friend. Hello. It's a big topic that a lot of people don't understand, right? And it's again disenfranchised grief. It is huge with regards to our society. Let's brush it under the rug, because it is just a pet, but just a pet that is in your life 365 days a week, or a year, 7 days a week. These girls, I swear to God. Come here. Come. Come on. Come. They're antagonizing each other. Cokie Chanel. Hang on. Stop. She can't hear me, so when I yell at her, it really doesn't matter. Come here. But she knows when she gets in trouble. Come here. I may need help from the co-producer to wrangle in Cokie, because she's doing bad things down here. So, and she's trying not to. She's trying to be good. Maybe she'll come up here. I don't know. Let's see what she's doing. She was trying to bite one of my stairs. She might be fine now. I don't know. She was trying to bite her little dog stairs, and we didn't need all that jazz going on. So anyways, but yeah, if you are new here, just found us, throw your name in the chat. If you've lost a pet, throw their name in the chat. At the end, we will do a candle lighting, moment where we light a candle for all those that have passed. It doesn't have to be this week. It doesn't have to be this year. It could be 10 years from now. Pet loss and grief does not stop. So it is something that is very, very ongoing, especially if it is one that is, as I consider like your soul dog, or soul cat, or soul bird, or naked rat, or whatever you want to call it. Because sometimes, we have several animals in our home that we love dearly with all of our hearts. And some are closer to us and different family members, and that's fine. That's fine. I actually appreciate that. I appreciate when, some of our dogs really attach themselves to the kids, or, so it doesn't, hurt my feelings anyway. I'm glad, because I think everybody should have that connection. And, it's a beautiful thing when you think about it, to have something that, if you got the animal when it was a baby, you guys are strangers, right? And then it's kind of like you find each other. It's a beautiful love story, as I call it. So yeah, it's pet loss and grief is ongoing. I will give you an update on my Ohio Companion Animal Bereavement Leave Act. I got my first, like, quote unquote, denial request. Not really a no, but I told you, I said before that I was taking it to the state level, which I did. I sent it to all our state representatives, and then I decided to kind of like tiptoe into the federal area to see how, if I could achieve anything in that area. And our representative on the federal level contacted me a couple days ago and said that, the packet looked great and everything, but he suggested starting at the state level. And then if it passes the state level, then, reach out to him on the federal level. I don't take that as a no. I take that as a, let's kind of like the chain of commands, right? Let's see how Ohioans get over here. Let's see how Ohioans, take it. And then, if it gets a good response, then let's throw it to federal, right? Again, I'm not one that, hi Cookie, I'm getting in trouble. I'm not one that takes no lightly. So, and this is just the beginning of the journey. I know it's going to take some time. I know that I've got to wrangle up support from our local vets. I've got a bunch of stuff that I need to get printed out and delivered to the local businesses and so forth. So I've got a lot of work ahead of me for one person that, has a full-time life and another full-time job. And uh, yes, that's right, moderate. Never tell me no, because that only makes me go after it harder. So yeah, no, it just that's I know. I It's annoying, but like when you have something, that you're passionate about or you believe in, um, it's I think that my goal is, and I'm going to actually, you are like that. Um, my goal is to, even with the one call that I got the other day, I am gonna contact them back because I would at least like to talk to the representative for at least 20 minutes. At least give me 20 minutes. That's all I'm at. Even 10. I'll take 10. Give me 10. Because I think when they're at that federal level or higher, they've got all these other things going on. They've got all these other bills in front of them. They're one person, right? And so maybe they're looking at things for, our veterans, or maybe they're looking at things for, you know, children. There are so many different items, topics that they cover. And so I can see how somebody, when it wants to prioritize, and maybe they're one of those people that are so wrapped up in the disenfranchised grief, uh, they don't acknowledge it, or they've got this mindset that we're trying to compare it to human bereavement, which we're not specifically in that packet, that it's not being compared to the bereavement of humans, because they're two separate things, and they have two separate importances. Both are extremely important and extremely important for people. So there's a lot that I would like to at least have 20 minutes to just say, this is where I'm coming from. This is what I've seen over 13 years. Okay. Anytime, I was just in the cafeteria at my work the other day, ran into somebody I never met, and we started talking over granola bars or some stupid shit like that. And he saw my cup, and he was saying how he has dogs and labs and all this stuff, right? And I said I have Frenchies, and we started. Well, anyways, we got onto the topic of my bill that I'm trying to get passed. And same thing with him. Automatically he goes back to, we're having a conversation, and automatically he goes back to that place with, where he had some of the best memories with his dog. You can't tell me, and this happens every time. Every time, Coco, every time. Um, I I talk to people about pet loss and grief. They always will drift back to that memory, whether it's a dog that's passed, whether it's a dog they have, a dog that they miss, a dog that was taken away. You can't tell me that that's not anything, that's nothing. If it was a one-off, and people were like, no, then okay, I'd say maybe it's a one-off and maybe I'm just a lunatic, but I'm not. You can go through Facebook, you can talk to people, and it's a real thing. If you're here, it's a real thing, right? So just getting people who may not have had that triggered to them to maybe have a conversation and say, this is what we're going for, and have you ever been there? Have you ever had this happen? When you were going through it, did you understand it? Did you understand why you were going through some of those things, and why it's important? Why there's employees that fear telling their employers that they've lost a pet because they've got to take off, or they're grieving so hard they have to take off, and worried that they're going to lose their job, or maybe they're out of PTO, and they just can't make it in, and then they have to go in, and they're sitting at a desk and sobbing. Well, I worked in a corporation. Gosh, this has now been, oh God, maybe 13 years ago, 14 years ago. And I remember sitting at my desk, and there was this other young lady that sat on the other side in we have cube farms, as I call them, little cubes. she sat on the other side of the cube, and uh, I overheard her, and I'll be very transparently, she didn't like me. She didn't like me. Um, and the reason why she didn't like me, she told me this way before. She told me that and this is the stupidest reason for not liking me. Out of all the reasons that maybe people won't like me, this was like the stupidest reason why somebody said that they didn't like me. She said that she was very like atypical. Um, thank you, thank you, thank you. She was very atypical brain-wise. She had everything organized and all this stuff. And so she said that she didn't care for me because she didn't know. She always put people in boxes. That was kind of like her mental safe thing. So when she met somebody, she would put them in like a box. She'd be like, okay, this person's more grounded, or this person's maybe they're a little more, nerdy, or whatever. This more person's more maybe self-centered. Or she had all these boxes for people, which I think is just weird. But anyways, she said she didn't like me because she would think that she had me figured out, and then I'd be completely in a different box, or like I always kept her guessing, and that made her made her anxiety level up. And when she told me that, I said, well, actually, I said, I'm kind of honored that's the reason why you don't like me, is the fact that you can't figure me out, because I'm always going in 10 directions. I like to try new things. If I feel like writing a book, I'll go write a book. If I feel like taking a bill to the state of Ohio, I'm going to do it. If I want to swim with whale sharks, I'm going to do it. And I was not always like that. I think growing up, I was pretty, shy and reserved and so forth. But then when you realize that life is here to be enjoyed, it's not here to be stuck in a box. Why do you want to label yourself and, say, well, I'm just this way? No, you should be every way. You should try different things. And, because you never know what you're going to like. So anyways, but boy, that was a long way around to saying. So the girl that didn't like me was on the other side of the cube, and I was sitting at my desk. This was, again, prior to a lot of stuff that I was doing at the time. She was at her desk, and all of a sudden I heard her talking to our manager, and she just like started sobbing, like just sobbing. And I want to say probably one of my worst weaknesses, and I've gotten better over the years ever since I started doing pet loss and grief, because when somebody breaks down sobbing like that, and say if I'm in charge of the meeting or charge of if I'm helping somebody, you can't have two people sobbing. You can tear up because that's all part of human being, but you can't have two people sobbing, because you need to have stability for the other person. You need, if you're going to be there to support them, you need to be somewhat stable. And so I've kind of taught myself that, it's almost like the Titanic, right? When the Titanic was going down, everybody saw that the captain of the ship was making people play music, going through. I always look at it that way. You gotta keep a level head. You have to keep, some things level, so that that person who is going through that knows that, like, if they're one of those people that takes care of everybody, then they're going to be like, well, shit, now I got to take care of this person. I don't have time to break down because now I got to take care of this person, or I got to take care of that person. I never want somebody to feel that way. I want them to know that if they're coming here, they're coming, whatever, they've got a stable place. And I know on my shows that when I talk about certain things, there's certain things that will choke me up. And that's perfectly normal, because it's the good. They're sad, but they're good memories. I think a lot of times I get choked up because you go back to that moment, and it just triggers something, right? And I am very grateful for times like that, because it still means that I have feeling, and it still means that was the price that I paid for loving that animal as much as I did. So anyways, but yeah, she was sobbing. And I'm like, oh my God. Well, her dog had just died. And as much as like she didn't like me and I didn't really care for her because she didn't like me. But then again, I didn't care either. There's, stand in line. So, but I still made my way over there and was like, hey, what, let's go, let's talk. Here's some Kleenex, and there's a certain time in life when you put things aside and you just have to give people grace and realize that you don't kick people when they're down. And despite how mean she was to me sometimes. I have oh I currently have three dogs. Yeah, I have three dogs. I have three dogs. I have Coco and Rosie and Lola. So currently I have three, two Frenchies and then one boxer. And yeah, they're absolutely great. If you have never been here before, these were all my ones that I lost. Harley was the most recent in a couple years ago. Daisy and Sammy and Cookie and Sweet Pea were my ones that I've lost over the past year. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, they're and then my Midnight. My Midnight was my cat that I grew up with. She lived a long time, a long, long time. Great cat. She only liked me and the family. I didn't really care for anybody else, so she was very special to me, very, very special to me. But I think sometimes that's how cats are too. Cats pick their people, right? Oh, hey, Michelle, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am glad you're here. And I'm glad you're safe after your last Facebook post where somebody creeping around your house. Boy, that made me madder than a wet head when I read that. I'm thinking, I'm going to have to go out to New Zealand, with Michelle. Yeah, to have somebody, messing around your house, like, oh, that just makes me sick. But I'm glad that you're safe, and I'm glad that you put extra locks out and everything. Hey, Sandy. Oh yeah, right. You have to. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, Real quick to introduce, I didn't get a chance to introduce the beautiful moderator she's on. This is my moderator, and then she's got her dog Noir, which is also my grand dog. So beautiful moderator is going to be moderating today, and as we go through pet loss, and this is also going to be kind of an open question day too. Well, yeah, when you had that on there, I was surprised too that I guess, I mean, I didn't know if you had put anything about him. Thank you. I didn't know if you had put anything on about Bubba reacting to it or not, because that's scary too. That's scary too. I'm wondering if Dave and Patty are going to be on, because the last text message I got from them was about 5 o'clock and all their power was out. So they got hit with the storms as bad as we did. So they may or may not be here due to the storms. I was lucky because my hair appointment was not canceled, but my son's was. And due to they had power outages as well. So I thought that was maybe Patty saying that, that their power was still out. But yeah, it is. Yeah. So this is, again, open topic. If you got any questions, throw them in the chat for me. I've got some things here that I thought we would go over, because it's some things that were kind of brewing around online. Get your opinions on them as well. I will give this quote, because when I was putting together the show today, I was sitting with my son. Which is the most chaotic dog? That would be 100% Rosie. Rosie is I hate to kill her, my little crackhead dog, but she has got the most spirit. She's a lunatic, and she's also very, if I am petting one, she will come and knock them out of the way to get the attention. She is just like an attention hog, big time. So if I want to really pay attention to the others, I got to put her in a different room or something so that I can, spend a lot of one-on-one time. But she is very, very, very high energy. She gets the other ones to play. And she's just, I love her personality. I don't think I've ever had a dog with a personality quite like hers. You'll be sitting there and won't be petting her, and then she'll just turn and give you the side eye. Are you going to pet me, or what do you think I'm sitting up here for? I'm giving you my time. Um, yeah, you're right. Yes, you are 100% right. Rosie is usually up here. I don't even know where she's at right now, to be honest, unless she went upstairs. Um, yeah, I have no idea where Rosie went. But yeah, you're right. She's the one that's usually up here. Um, yes, Rosie's a very, very jealous sister. Very, very. But I've never had a dog like her. All my other ones, everybody always has their own personalities, right? But she is just something. She demands attention, and yeah, oh wait, no. So Rosie and Coco are this. Oh, here comes Rosie. Rosie and Coco are the same age. They're both 4 years old, and then my Lola she's 14. 14. Come on. They were just talking about you. Were your ears burning up there? Were your little bad ears burning? So you're I'm gonna. You got to look at the camera first before you lay down. Yeah. So were your ears burning? Your ears burning up there, uh, little bad ears. So yeah, and she's the one that she does deserve it. She's a good girl, but she's rotten. She's rotten. I mean, I don't know if you've seen on the show too, like this dog over here. If she notices that I just knock my pillows down. If she know, what are you doing? Will you cut it out? Stop it. Sit. Um, But if she notices this dog over here, oh, she's going to be all for it because what are you doing? You're messing up the couch. Rosebud, sit. Sit down. Come here. She's out of much to go through the couch. She messes it up, and then she thinks she's going to get up here. You already messed up the couch. But anyway, so when I was putting the show together today, my son was sitting with me, and we were going through some stuff, and he gave this comment, and I had to write it down because I really thought it was interesting, and I thought it was kind of brilliant for a 13-year-old. But he's like, Mom, he's like, dogs are like leaves, and I'm like, okay, where's this going? He said, dogs are like leaves. Everyone is different and unique, and the lines on the leaves are like their lives. They're short, but they're strong and they're sturdy, and they keep connected to the trees during all sorts of elements and until the time when they change seasons and fall off. But it was just a really unique kind of take on it. He some of the stuff he comes up with just like blows me over a little bit. I'm like, he is right? He is right. Oh, be right back. Oh, have to run. Oh, little Daisy. So I thought that was really cool. Yeah, right. It's interesting how he can view that, and when I was driving home from work yesterday, he called me, and it was funny because he he's got two little girls in the neighborhood that he hangs out with, and he's like, Mom, I need $20, and I'm like, what do you need $20 for? And he's like, I've got to go to the store. He said, his two friends, he said they're sisters, and he's like, Mom, he's like, crying, how you cry. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, but not like cry, but like hard cry, like in the movies when you hard cry. And I'm like sobbing. And he's like, yeah, like that. I'm like, okay. He's like, they're both sobbing. They're sobbing very hard. And he's like, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, well, why are they crying? First of all, why are they crying? He's like, they're one dog, and I can't remember the damn dog's name. But they had to put their 16-year-old beagle mixed dog down yesterday. And he's like, can I go to the store and get him flowers? And hey, Adam, hey, welcome. I said, I'm over here getting gas by the Kroger. I'm like, I will meet you over there. And so he met me over there on his little e-bike, and we got him some flowers and some candy and so forth like that. And I'm glad that I'm glad that I'm raising kids that automatically kind of know what to do when they see this issue in their friends, um, and not going with the standard, right? I mean, on Aaron's page today, he had a great post with regards to some of the things that people say that, and the way I kind of viewed it, because the main comment was when, like, say if you have to put your pet down or anything like that, um, the quote was, at least they're not in pain anymore. And Aaron made a really good point. He made a really good point. He said, when you are on that side of grief, when you just grieve, uh, we've gotten so used to, as a society, saying, well, they're not in pain anymore. Well, yeah, we know that, right? Right? We know that as people, that are grieving that. I mean, that's why if we had to put them down, that's why we did that, so they wouldn't be in pain anymore. Um, and but like Aaron's point was, when they tell you that, it's kind of devaluing the whole situation a little bit, taking away some of the seriousness of it, or the hurt from it. Like you should feel better because they're not in pain anymore. Well, a very, very inkling aspect of it is true, uh, but you can also say, well, I wish, why did they have to go through that? Why did it have to get to that point? And I think when we're grieving like that, we can take things a lot of different ways. And again, pet loss and grief, they don't go through the same journey that we are, because it's an intimate process. They may go through it when they go through it, or when their pet passes. It's not like a close dog to them, and that's fine. But it's just, and like I had responded and stated that I think, because of disenfranchised grief, I think the way that society views grief as animal grief, I'm sorry, as not really that important, or not up there in importance, that we've heard these things. We've heard these comments, and I call them kind of safe comments to give people, even, let's face it, even when you go to a funeral, right? You a lot of times they have the viewings where you're standing in line at a viewing, and you have the family up there, and they're crying for their loved one, and you're going up there because, I mean, if you're there, you're clearly, involved or attached some way with that person. But I don't know how many times I've stood there in those lines, and all of a sudden I get panicky a little bit, because you don't want to say the wrong thing. You don't want to say the wrong thing especially to like grieving family members. And so you get up there, and what's your go-to? What's everybody's go-to? I'm sorry for your loss. Why? Because that's what we've heard over the years, and that's what we know is safe. That's what we know is like, okay, that's not offensive. They're not going to take that the wrong way. It's safe. So that's kind of what I think too, when people respond that way, like, well, at least they're not in pain anymore, and blah, 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 because they've heard that it's safe to them. Maybe they've never been on that side of grief, so they don't understand the full aspect of it. But I think that when people say things like that, I don't think it's with malicious intent. I think it's just the fact of, and again, they may not be pet people, so they don't get it. They don't get it quite right. So they're saying this, and again, like, to Aaron's point, he would rather just be there for me. You don't have to say anything. A lot of times you don't have to say anything, but just be there for that person. Sit with them, especially if they start telling stories. I always, to be honest, when people will say that they lost their dog or cat or whatever they've got, my first thing out of my mouth before, say, I'm sorry, I automatically will say, what was their name? How old were they? Because I kind of want to get their mind on a track of that person cares about me. They want to know about me. They want to know about my dog. And as a grieving pet owner, you're like, wow, that's nice that somebody's like, they're not just kind of brushing me off. Um, I'll, when people start talking about their dogs and how old they were, and it gets them kind of in a different frame of, of being a little like a little, it takes them to a little bit more happy place, if that makes sense in their minds. Um, and that's good because you want people, you can grieve and be in a happy place. You can be in both worlds at the same time. And it doesn't disvalue anything that they're saying, or disvalue, that's not a word, devalue anything that they're saying. But it shows that you want to know more than just giving them the old sorry for your loss. I'm so sorry for your loss. No, tell me about him. I want to know. I'm definitely sorry for your loss, but I also want to know about him. I want to know about what did you guys like to do? Tell me stuff, because that's the good stuff. That's the stuff people want to hear. I know I want to hear it. I love pet stories. I love when people go back to the moments they had a funny moment, with their pets, and those are special times. They're special times for people. So, but again, if I can get this damn bill passed and I can get it up the ladder and we could start crushing this disenfranchised grief stuff, which is hopefully through this channel as well, maybe people will start thinking differently, because that's the point. The point is to start thinking differently, is to start normalizing that this is a real thing. This is normal. And when people are going through it, they don't need you to run from them. They need support. I know you can probably see all this smoke, right? My house is not on fire. It's just incense that I burnt down here. So sorry about that. Anyways, so, but here, here's let's see, a couple of things too. I'm going to go through some of these notes on here because, again, that was a really good topic on Erin's page, so the question is, what is the right thing to say? What is crossing the line? What is your relationship to that person? That's huge. That's huge. What your relationship to that person is something that depends on how you react to them. Maybe you're definitely going to say something different to a person that you're close to, over maybe your boss or somebody that you meet on the street. Depending on your relationship, you don't know, and I get that way. I've done this for 13 years, and I never want to step on anybody's toes or break a boundary because I have been doing it so long. So I don't want to break a boundary where, you can tell different people. Some people are more closed off. Some people are more open. But I tread very lightly with different people because I want to give them space, and I don't want, like I said, there's different types of, that you don't want to come off too, like, I mean, granted, I don't care who you are. If you've lost a dog or a cat or something like that, I mean, my first thing is I want to give you a big hug, but not everybody likes hugs, right? Not everybody likes, they'll be like, oh, this crazy lady wants to hug me. Because sometimes that's what you need. You need somebody to hold you for a second and just say, right now you're okay right now. You're going to be okay. It's just going to take you time, but we'll get through it together. Because guess what? I've been on that road too. I know how that is. And it doesn't compare to what you're going through because everybody's journey is different. Every dog is different. Every cat's different. Every relationship with your animal is different. So, yeah, it's that's very, very interesting that you kind of have to navigate your relationship with that person before you kind of either love bomb them or or give them high level. You just that's it's you don't want to cross the line and you don't want to offend people either. Um, and there's different stages where people are in different stages of grief, where no matter what you say, it's not going to be the right thing. So the best thing to do is just shut up. Just shut up and just say, you know what, I'm here for you. If you need to talk, I am here for you. I will sit with you all day long. We can just sit and watch TV and not say a damn word to each other. But just to know that you're there. That's huge for people. That's huge. Let's see. So hopefully that made sense. But I mean, again, it is a big topic. Let's see. What helps you get through tough moments when you're grieving? That helps people too. And that could be a question that maybe when they've been grieving for a certain amount of time, ask them that. Say, I know that you've been hurting for a while now. When you have these tough moments, what helps you get through it? What helps you get on the other side of that moment? That's a big question. And sometimes people will give you the answer. They're like, I don't know. It lasts for a long time. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And maybe you can give them a suggestion. You can give them a suggestion. Say, when you're going through those tough moments, it's good to go through them, because I believe that everybody should go through the emotion of it, because if you keep shutting it down, it's just going to build. It's just going to build. And granted, there's times when you can't. You might be in your office. You might be in I've had, I do a lot of presentations at work. I've had it where I've been at a getting ready to do a presentation, and something will hit me, or it has in the past, and whether it is a visual, it is whatever, and it doesn't matter how long it is. Yeah, you do. You have to. And there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. It shows that you're human. It shows that you love somebody, and something loved you so much, back. And so help them. Tell them when you're in situations like that, you have to. The good thing is that we are in control of our minds, whether we want to believe it or not. We're in control of our minds, and sometimes. Right. Michelle says she likes to get busy. And that's exactly what we have to do. We have to tell ourselves, we have to love ourselves enough to say, hey, you know what? Let's take this feeling, let's put it in a quick box. And then when we get home, we can open that box up again and go through these feelings. Take your hour, take your whatever you need to do that. That's the beauty of having thoughts like that. Yes, Sunshine Girl is 100% correct. That's what happens over time. Eventually, there is more peace and healing. There's more times when you're focusing on their actual lives, the good times, things like that. And one of the biggest things with grief and pet loss grief is the fear that we're going to forget. We're going to forget, like sorting out oh yeah. Yeah, I do too. I love going through old photos. I do too. But there's going to be times that you're, or there's going to be times when you're going to find that it does get easier and it gets easier. But, okay. What I was saying initially was people are afraid to forget the memories, and that comes with people getting older too, myself included. It's a fear with grief that you're going to forget them, that you're going to forget the times. That's why a lot of people hang on to the pain. They feel like if they're still crying, if they're still having these feelings, then they're not forgetting, and if they're not forgetting, that's a blessing to them. right? My mom had sent some VHS tapes home with the moderator, and on these tapes, we didn't really know what was on these tapes, because they were back from, God, I don't know, the 90s or something like that, or actually the couple were from the 80s. And to go through these tapes and watch some of them, and like my grandmother's on there, and she was alive at the time, and um, but watching some of the pictures of my grandmother, uh, you know, I, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, man, I'm like, I missed her laugh. I missed the way she would do things. And I think that that's the way it is with our pets too. If we don't have those memories or we don't have those videos, we're afraid that, am I going to forget how they barked? Am I going to forget how they sounded? When uh, they wanted to eat, hitting the bowl. I mean, we get afraid of it, and then our brains go nuts, and they're like, okay, well, I got to hang on to this part of the grief, because if I don't, then I've the pain part. If I don't, then I'm going to forget it, and then that's going to be even more painful. So, yeah, that's a huge thing. Um, Somebody else on there, it was interesting as well with okay, hang on, grieving. Um, oh, okay, grieving the loss. Um, when we grieve the loss, aka the death, but also grieving everything that goes along with it. This was another important one. When you're actually grieving the loss, the actual death, when it happens, or even afterwards. But I don't think that we realize that we're also grieving everything else, right? Um, it help it helps to visualize them running and playing with other. Oh yeah, yes, it does. Yes, what, Sunshine Girl, that is like my biggest thing. I always say that I believe my relatives are up there taking care of my animals, and I always say that I'm sure my grandmother complains that, Jennifer's sending another dog up for me to take care of until I get there. But I believe that I believe that they're waiting for us, patiently waiting for us to get up there to take care of them again. Um, but those are comforting memories. They're comforting thoughts, anyways, that can help us get through tough times. Um, but again, you're not just grieving the loss, but you're grieving everything. You're grieving the routine. You're grieving the unconditional love, them greeting you at the door. Um, oh my gosh, 100%. Sunshine Girl says, "What a reunion we'll have one day." Oh my God, I I tell you what, I that is one of the things that I look forward to the most, besides meeting God. But that is one of the things I look forward to the most is that reunion, and then reunion with your relatives, and just you know haunting people. I do plan on haunting people. Um, I always make a joke that I'm going to just haunt a bunch of people, just because I don't think people get haunted enough. So that's awful, isn't it? But that's why you can't put me in a box. You'll never know what you'll get. So I do. I love all that. I love paranormal stuff, and none of that, like ghosts and things. They don't scare me. I think it's actually a really cool thing, because again, it's to me it's fun. But um they really went off in left field on that one. But yeah, so you grieve the routine, you grieve your identity with your pet that passed, and um there's more that goes into it than just the ending that we're grieving. We don't just grieve pets. We Anytime any major changes happen in our life, we go through like a grieving period. Whether I mean, you might change jobs, you might, um, I just any little thing that's like a major impact in your life, where you're making a change, is you go through this grieving process. Even if you hated the job, you kind of go through the grieving process of, it's a huge rift in our schedules and our lives. So, but yeah, I mean, you tell me how, what do you miss? what do you miss about the ones that you lost? Is there something specific that you miss? Um, I can think with all my different ones. Uh, the one, oh gosh, the one that this one that just passed. Um, I you know I'm always goofy with my dog, so I would always go up. Um, I would always like go because we have 2 floors. I would go sneak up and go jump in my bed, and I would start yelling his name. He was he was like my baby. I would go yelling his name, and then he would just come running, 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 running. And he was a pretty big dog. He was 60 something pounds. But he would come running up those steps, and he would like stop at the top, and he would look, and all of a sudden he would see me and just come darting at that bed, and he would come darting at the bed, and then I would sing to him, and he would like fall over like in this. He'd do a somersault, and I miss that. I miss that. Um, and I'll never sing that song for any of the other dogs because that one was specifically, for him. But you miss things. You miss just like the little things. Rosie, I'm sure the moderator will miss when when Rosie goes. Rosie, every day that the moderator comes over, Rosie will start biting her fingers, and I still talk to Bella all the time. Oh, yeah, and you should. They say you should. Because I think they're all still here with us. That you should. Um, but and I every time that Rosie nibbles on the moderator, I give her extra cheats because because she's good. Um, so yeah, but that's the thing. Like, what do you miss? What do you miss about the ones that have passed? They were all unique. They all did different things, and that's good for when you're grieving. Maybe when you get to that tough spot, you go back to some of those fun times. Some of the just goofy stuff. Again, because they're all different, right? I mean, I'm sure how many dogs, cats does everybody have? Throw it in the chat. If you've got more than one, well, even with your one, it's got a specific personality. And even if you only have one and you had ones before, I'm sure they're completely different. Oh, okay. So you have one now. Sunshine Girl, is that all you have? Do you just have a dog, or do you have other animals as well? Yep. Michelle's got her Bubba. No, as I say, not just Aiden. It is Daisy. You have see, and it's my that was my Daisy. My Daisy was down here. She was all white, and then she had one little brown eye. So I called her my Daisy. And she was also my Mother's Day gift when the moderator was right before the moderator was born. So I got the best of both worlds. I got a daughter, and I got a new puppy. So that was a blessing. I was so excited. That was like one of the best Mother's Day gifts ever. Was getting who doesn't want a puppy or a kitten or something like that. That's a great thing. But anyways, so another thing is how has your life changed? How has your life changed since your loss? What do you do differently? I know after the initial loss, there's a change in your routine because you're not getting up. I get up, unfortunately, because I have 3 dogs, and one's older. I get up multiple times at night to make sure that they go out at least 2 times. And one's always like now granted, I go to bed early because I get up early in the morning. But with that being said, there's always like one time at midnight, one time at 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't think I've had a solid night's sleep unless I go out of town. But when they're not here anymore, I'm going to miss it. That's part of my huge routine, and making sure I get up and getting them outside. And, they've all got their 2 o'clock, or I'm sorry, 2 o'clock feeding time, right? It has, right? Sunshine Girl says, I think it made me stronger, even though you miss her. Um, I think with every loss that we have, we do get stronger. We get mentally stronger. Uh, and again, it's one of those things that it's sad that we have to go through the pain of that, um, and go through the emotions and the actions, the situation. But um, you're right, it does make us stronger. It's almost like, I it's almost like when you know people beat you down and you come back from it. um, you're stronger, you're a stronger person. You look at things in life differently, you do things in life differently. Maybe with a new family member that comes in after the one that passed, you look at it differently. You spend more time. Maybe you take more time that you didn't weren't able to do with the first one. Take more road trips and um, that you took for granted. I mean, we take for granted a lot of stuff, right? And we do that with humans. We take for granted a lot of things, and then when it's gone, we realize that we shouldn't have done that. Probably shouldn't have done that. We probably should make more time. Makes you appreciate. Oh yeah, makes you. Sunshine Girl says makes you appreciate other pets and loved ones even more. 100%, because it's real, right? It's a reality check that we're not here. We're not here for a very long time. They're not here for a very long time. And to be honest, I mean, moderator and I were talking about it earlier today. That I mean, you could be here, 1 second and then be gone within the next. It just you never know when your ticket's up in life. So enjoy every minute of it. Make the most out of every minute of it. Um, not right. You're not here for a long time, just a good time. Absolutely. That's the way everybody should look at life, in my opinion. Yeah, enjoy it, right? You got to have the fun, and you've got to have the relaxing part. Um, but enjoy it. I mean, it's here for us to enjoy and enjoy other people, and just don't take it for granted. You know, make good of the time you have here. My my Patty, my mother, Patty, she constantly is on me. She's like, "You're always going, you're always doing stuff," and she always gets on me for doing like 50 million things, and I'm like, I don't know, you don't know how much time we have here, and I don't know if everybody else in the world looks at it that way, but like my goal is to make an impact in this world, and so by helping as many people as possible. So why I'm like, I don't have like a lot of time to waste here, because we don't know how much time we have, right? And I don't want to like go to the great beyond and then them look at me and go, well, what the hell were you doing down there for however long I've been sitting there. um and there we're all blessed with all these different gifts, and we need to use them. We need to use them for good, and if you just improve the quality of life and everybody. That's the goal. So um, I'm gonna grab my candle. We're at the end of the hour, but I'm gonna light the candle. I very very appreciative that this candle, this lighter worked. I wasn't sure if it was going to. Okay, good. And the candle is lit. So throw in the chat if you've had ones that have passed and you are missing them. Put their names in there. We honor everybody that has passed away, whether it be now, whether it be years ago. Doesn't matter. Love is love, and unconditional love is a blessing that not everybody had. Oh, I love that name, Bella Rose. That's such a pretty name. Jackie the Bald Eagle. Aw. Oh, I love that. Now you're gonna have to share that story with me, because I don't know if I've ever heard that one. Is that new? And I've of course have, yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yep. Harley, Lola, or not Lola, Jesus. Ooh. Har- Harley, Sammy, Daisy, Cookie, Sweet Pea, Midnight. Um, all such blessings in my life. All such blessings in life. Um, oh, thank you, Aaron. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate each and every person that has come on tonight. You took an hour out of your life to spend it with all of us. You don't have a friend, you have one now. Have a safe week. I will see everybody on Friday for Frenchie Friday. We're going to have, I think I'm going to have I think Adam was asked. Yes, I think I'm going to have Adam. Oh no. Aw. Shoot, I wonder what happened. Oh, that's awful. Um, yeah, but I think we're gonna have the moderator on Frenchie Friday joining me, whether it's on the couch or at her couch. Either way, we're gonna have her join us on Friday. So I look forward to seeing everybody for Frenchie Friday. Again, thank you so much for taking an hour out of your lives to learn about pet loss, disenfranchised grief. Hop over to the change.org page. Look, Ohio Companion Animal Bereavement Leave Act on Google. You can Google it. Ohio Companion Animal Bereavement Leave Act. Start typing that in. The change.org page will come up. If you could, please sign the petition. You don't have to give money. Just sign it and share it. That's all we appreciate. People find. Oh, that's so sad. I hate stuff like that. Yes, thank you. Be safe, Michelle, please. Please, please, please be safe with, people like that walking around your house. But thank you so much. I appreciate each and every person that comes. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends, family about us. Again, we appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so very much for coming on, and have a wonderful rest of your week until Friday. So, well, you can still have rest of your weekend Friday if you want to have, but either way. So have a good rest of your day, and please be safe. Take care. Bye.